Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. I am Scott. You have wandered onto the Prog Corner, man. The #1 prog rock channel on all of YouTube, according to me. And, that's the only opinion that's important around here. Anyway, as you probably noticed from the title and thumbnail, I'm reviewing the brand new album from Dream Theater. Oh, my goodness gracious, Mike Portnoy's back. The whole world has changed. And, I'm pretty excited because I like the 5 albums with Mangini playing drums. I really, really do. But, you can make a case that he's even a better drummer than Mike Portnoy. But nobody plays drums like Mike Portnoy, There's certain drummers that it's them right away. They have their own style, and that's hard to do with drums, right? To have that particular style. Portnoy is that guy, absolutely. He is Dream Theater for sure, man. And I am so excited because this album actually lives up to its hype. So let's talk a little bit about Parasomnia. Oh, it drops Friday on Inside Out Music. The return of Mike Portnoy after 15 years in the wilderness. There are 8 songs here. The running time's like 71 minutes. Overall, this is the band's 16th album, which seems a little bit crazy to me, actually, if you think about it. But Parasomnia, I had to look it up. I kind of guessed what it meant, but it's a category of sleep disorders that involve abnormal movements, behaviors, emotions, perceptions, and all manners of dissociated sleep states. Whatever that means, man, I'm not really sure, but it's pretty cool. This was a concept that John Petrucci had in mind for a while. So when Portnoy came back in the band, he presented this idea, and obviously it makes total sense, right? I mean, about sleep disorders and stuff. The name of the band is Dream Theater, so it definitely makes sense. And you feel the presence of Mike Portnoy's return right from Jump Street, man, right from the word go, with in the arms of Morpheus, a 5-minute little prelude that starts this thing up. It's an overture, man. It's like, for years I'd listen to the Neil Morse Band and, you pick up all these little Dream Theater influences. Well, hey, it's the other way around here, man. I'm hearing the Neil Morse Band influencing Dream Theater. So that's pretty cool because Neil Morse loves his overtures, right? So this is very, very much in keeping with that. Starts with clean arpeggios and a little ticking clock going, and riffs galore, You hear some of these riffs later on in the album, and this album is full of those types of Easter eggs where, the chorus from one song pops up in the middle 8 of another song, all kinds of little stuff like that. It's always fun listening to music that, has those kind of callbacks and that kind of stuff's always fun. Now, it leads right into the first single, which is the first real song on the album. It's called Night Terrors, almost 10 minutes long. You guys have probably heard it already, so you don't need me to go on and pontificate at length about how great this is, but what a way to start, man. It's like they knew this was the right single to start it off with, all the Portnoy craziness in the beginning, and then you get, the killer riff in E. Hey, wait a second. That does sound a little like Enter Sandman to me. And at first I thought it was just me. There's only 12 notes in music, so, everything's going to sound a little bit like something. But then I started playing around with it. They're both in the key of E, so I don't think it's a coincidence, right? A little callback to a Metallica song. Kind of cool. A lot of really cool, odd time signatures in here. Rhythmic breakdowns. Portnoy's back in his signature style. So good. Jordan Rudess with his Hammond organ breakdown sounding really, really good here. This song could have come off of Black Clouds and Silver Linings. It's kind of got that kind of vibe to it. Towards the end, you get like a Cygnus X1 section, calling back the old school Dream Theater kind of sound, and Petrucci just lays out an amazing solo. What a way to start an album, right, kids? And then you get to the second single, The Broken Man, or A Broken Man. This was a James LaBrie track. He wrote the lyrics to this. Petrucci wrote Night Terrors. 8.5 minutes long. Starts out with these really dissonant kind of chords. You're in 5 here, and it's so powerful and dissonant and weird. And then in the background, Mike Portnoy doing all kinds of Mike Portnoy things. It's just really cool. Finally, the song settles down, and you're in the key of D. I guess this song deals with post-traumatic stress disorder. PTSD is a real thing, man, and this song deals with that. But the instrumental breakdown, 2/3 of the way through this song, again with the Hammond organ going on, just amazing. A Broken Man, great track. Then we get to what probably my favorite song on the album. I don't know, because the epic's amazing, but this song here is called Dead Asleep. It's a John Petrucci penned track, 11 minutes long, so it's the second longest song on the album. Starts like a real dreamy opening for the first minute, and then you get this killer riff in B flat. B flat. We're in B flat. That's a weird key signature to be in. But it's a fun riff because it kind of slides around on the anacrusis. You don't really know if anything's on the upbeat. Are you on the upbeat or on the downbeat? It's a really cool trick that gives the riff a lot of inertia, a lot of forward motion. It's huge sounding, kind of almost a gothic at times, like gothic metal. Just a great song. And apparently this is a true story about some dude that... woke up in the middle of the night and I guess he was sleeping. He wasn't awake, he was sleeping, and he kills his wife in his sleep and he gets away with it. True story. Kind of fun. Next up is Midnight Messiah, and this is the track where Mike Portnoy actually wrote these lyrics. It's an 8-minute song, and this was the third single. And maybe I was starting to get a little bit worried because it's like, wow, this really does sound like Metallica. Are we going to be... just retreading old ideas and whatnot? And obviously not, because the riff police are out and they're going to make sure that nothing is, too closely hewn to previous material. Starts with the clean arpeggio. You're in C minor here, and then it switches to some palm muting stuff. I really love the double time chorus. I think that's a lot of fun. Brings a lot of power and energy. And then you get the required Petrucci shredding at the end of the track. It's a fun song, but honestly, it's the one that kind of like doesn't really move the envelope, doesn't push it anywhere new. Great song, but I kind of think what they do on the tail end really makes up for it, man, because they slide into the home stretch so beautifully here. Starts with this little interlude called Are We Dreaming? It's like 90 seconds of real peaceful and calm stuff. But apparently, if you pay attention, that's an Easter egg too. You'll recognize that melody elsewhere. That leads you right into a great track called Bend the Clock. 7.5-minute song, James LaBrie penned. It's a bluesy ballad in C. And, a lot of times when Dream Theater does these ballads, it kind of loses my interest, and it's almost like where you hit skip. You're not going to want to skip this song, man. Not only is it really cool and it's well placed in the song sequencing, and that you really needed a little change of pace here, and you get it with this track, and LaBrie's vocals are just soaring. The chorus is absolutely gorgeous. It's just such a beautiful song. You're not going to want to hit skip on this track, man. Especially once you get to the latter part of the song where you got this really long fade out and Petrucci is just doing Petrucci things, man. I don't even know. I don't understand how that guy can play like that. So good. I guess he didn't even want it to fade out. He wanted to keep it going so that, you can hear all the cool stuff he's doing in there. And I totally get it, man. What a great track. And that leads you to the mighty epic. Oh, man. The Shadow Man incident, almost 20 minutes long. And you know how Dream Theater does with their, putting the big epic at the end of the album. We saw it with the Count of Tuscany and In the Presence of Enemies and Octavarian, etc. Even the latest one had that, So that's just a thing they do, but they don't always do it this good, man. Oh, this song is so good. Starts off in E, and so many riffs. It just goes through so many changes. It's just amazing. It's powerful. It's progressive. Yeah, this is pure prog rock right here, man. At times, you almost are getting into Metropolis Scenes from a Memory territory on this track, and then it flips the script. You get some Latin jazz, man, and John Mayung. You can actually hear his bass playing for a change, so that's a nice change. Apparently, this album was produced by John Petrucci. Mike Portnoy doesn't get a co-producing credit, but the instrumental sections on this song are just amazing. might be my new favorite Dream Theater song. I don't know, because it is that good. But yeah, Dead Asleep's really good too. The whole album's really good, man. It's just ridiculous. You know, we've been waiting all this time for Portnoy to come back, and they don't disappoint, man. I was a little bit worried because when the track listing came out and we started hearing some of the singles, and the Hugh Syme artwork, it looks looking so dark, and the whole concept of, you know, sleep disorders and stuff. I figured this was going to be a really, really dark album, a la Train of Thought or something. And it does have those moments to it. But to me, it's more akin to like Systematic Chaos, where you do have some dark and heavy moments, but you also have light. You know, there's plenty of light and shade in here, and a lot of that is due to Jordan Rudess and his amazing keyboard playing and his voicings. Like certain things you know you're going to get from Jordan Rudess, right? When the song starts soaring, you can almost anticipate him playing the piano with those beautifully voiced chords in the background. You know, certain things you know you're going to get, but Jordan keeps it so real with so many fresh, cool keyboard sounds. What's my score going to be here, man? I just can't get enough of this album. It's actually a fun listen in spite of the dark nature of it, in spite of how, you know, oppressive some of the subject matter might seem. These guys are having a good time, and it shows. You can tell these guys are having a great time being in each other's company. There's a lot of fun on this record. It's not as dark as you think it might be. The melodies are soaring and beautiful. Labrie sounds great, man. His voice is amazing. Portnoy is Portnoy. Petrucci is Petrucci. All is right in the world because Dream Theater's back with Mike Portnoy, and they drop an absolute stone cold masterpiece. I love this album. I think it's amazing. I'm giving it 9.5 out of 10, boys and girls. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Tomorrow on the channel, oh, I got a good one for you. Learning to love the YouTube algorithm, man. I am so sick and tired of everybody talking about, you know, oh, it's all clickbait. And, you know, you're slave to the algorithm. You know what? The algorithm is just everybody's opinions all collated into one. And if you don't want, you know, your videos to get viewed, then I guess you don't have to worry about any of this stuff. But I actually want people to watch my videos because I'm talking about the greatest music in the history of mankind, and people need to listen to my voice. Absolutely. Even if I did get shut out, man, on Unsung Heroes, shame on you, Prog Magazine. I demand a recount. I was robbed. It's a rigged election. Absolutely. I'm taking it all the way to the Supreme Court, Jerry Ewing. Anyway, boys and girls, I love you. Peace in the Middle East. Free Tibet, free the Ukraine, free your mind, free Willie, and free beer. And oh yeah, it's time to save that king. Save the king. Save King Chunky. Oh, boy, Chunky needs your saving. Absolutely, he does. That boy, he's getting over that cancer, so bring him to America, where Dream Theater resides, and Mike Portnoy. Oh, I guess James Labrie's Canadian, but we won't hold that against him. It's going to be the 51st state soon enough, and then we're going to dance with snakes. Oh, yeah, we are. We're dancing with them rattlesnakes in honor of Mike Portnoy coming back to Dream Theater where he belongs. Don't forget about Neil Morse now. Neil Morse might need you a little bit occasionally. Anyway, boys and girls, I love you. Peace.